Looks like you need a prescription for tunes. This is the Spin Doctors. I don't know about that intro.
You know,
I like the other one better.
Yeah.
Is this a part of it, or are we actually talking?
No, who knows, really, honestly.
This is sadly how it begins.
Yeah, well, I usually say take 2 tracks and call us in the morning.
Oh, I like that.
All right, let's go with that.
Okay.
Take 2 tracks and call us in the morning. It's the Spin Doctors. I'll keep that all in. I don't give a fuck. I am your host, Rick Storer, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host with the mo-host, Nick Malizia.
That's me. I don't know why
That's
keep doing
him.
this.
That's his voice.
Not really.
Is mo-host what you call the clap?
You don't exist yet. You are not in this timeline. Get out of here, ghost, specter,
right.
haunting vision of the future.
You're gonna kill Tiny Tim.
I would kill Tiny Tim. This is a podcast about enjoying music. That guy is fucking creepy. Tiny Tim.
Oh,
What did Tiny Tim do to you? What?
He wrote that song.
Which one?
What
Tiptoe
song?
by the window?
No, by the Tulips. Tiptoe by
Yeah.
the Tulips.
It's a horrifying vignette.
All right, I'm going
of a
away.
crazy
I don't
person.
exist yet. I don't exist yet.
Back in your hole. Oh my God. It has been already. It is 1:00 p.m. and it has already been a very long day. I woke up feeling very hungover, and I cast aside my bedding, my sheets, and my 2 blankets because it is very cold these days. So I have 2 blankets on my bed in order to hold in the warmth. So I cast those aside and immediately went, no thank you, and pulled them back on. This was at 11:30. I then spent the next hour and 15 minutes convincing myself I could do this show. And here we are. We're going to have a great
beautiful.
show.
You
Thank
sound
you.
beautiful.
Thank you so much.
You're doing great.
Oh my God. That is exactly the type of positive things, the influence that I need in my life. So you can already tell my brain is not going to be working at optimum capacity. Oh, I did optimum capacity, so at least we're halfway there.
Well, it's a good thing we have someone here with us today.
Oh, you're so great. Yes, of course, joining us. This is a very, very fun time we're going to have with very good people with nice things to say and good parts. This is my very good friend and comedian from the Bay Area of California. I know that
because we have listeners from all over the world. So
all over the world, yeah.
Bay
and
Area, that could be anything.
I say Bay Area, and they could be the Bay of Pigs. It could be Beyonce, and people just
Green
don't.
Bay.
Green Bay, I believe that they have a football team.
Yes, soccer.
Yes, very good friend, Ruben Escobedo.
Hello.
Hi, Ruben. Oh, he got some light applause. That's nice.
I'm always an applause guy. I'm
used to.
always I'm always a guy that's clapping. Whether it's like I'm clapping people. The
customers.
Clapper.
You clap for the customers.
Well, great job eating that food, you fat son of a bitch.
And I'm like, thanks, Nick.
I was like, cool, Ruben, you want to be on our podcast?
I mean, I don't know. My mouth's kind of full, and you're kind of making me feel bad about it.
Talk about music? Okay.
Oh my goodness, Ruben, I'm looking at you.
Yes.
Because this is while the listener does not know this, we, the recording team here at Spin Doctors, which is me, we can see each other. We can all look at each other. We're all seeing each other's beautiful eyes and faces and attire. And speaking of attire, Ruben, what are you wearing?
So, okay. So do you remember that craze that was called like, oh God, what were those? They looked like cult robes. Snuggies, yeah.
Snuggies. Cult robes.
They looked like cult robes.
That was actually that was the demo name for it. It's like, how about cult robes? It's like, we're going to have to bring that back a little bit. Snuggies?
Okay, cold robes.
robes. Like cold robes. No, it is. So it's like that, but it's essentially just a poncho. Okay, it's essentially just a very large blanket with like holes for my arms and head.
It's got a hood.
It's leopard print. It does have a hood, so
But
it's
is that like
it's mildly cultish.
That's a nice interior on the inside there. Is that like a fuzzy?
It is fuzzy. It's very fuzzy. Also, it's a very nice blanket.
How many times have you taken Molly and more in this thing?
How many listeners we got on this? No, it does. This very much does look like something you wear to like a festival.
Yes, it's also leopard print. We need to put that in the listeners' mind. It's leopard print. There's a hood. Print.
So it looks to the naked eye. Oh, it's got pockets. Oh my god.
Damn.
It looked to the naked eye. It appears to be a hoodie, just from the tits up. It looks like a hoodie, but you say it goes to the floor.
It doesn't go to the floor. It definitely goes to my knees. This is something that an 18-year-old girl wears at a festival, but I'm a 30-year-old man who is fat and has a mustache.
Quarantining, yes.
I feel like that fashion is so, cyclical and changes so much that I feel like what an 18-year-old girl wears at a festival in 2000 has now in 2020 become what an average 30-year-old man wears. I think that's just fashion.
I'm one racist headdress away from Bonnaroo. So.
I have some questionable pasties I can loan you.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, you guys can't see my legs. I'm full hanging dong on them. So.
Well, you said it goes down to your knee.
Pooh.
Yeah. Oh, I'm Sharon Stoning it. My legs are open. I have a second camera set up for a different call that's just on my my genitals.
For your OnlyFans account?
Yeah, I'm killing two birds, one stone right now.
Yes, because you're getting paid for this too.
Yeah,
that's how this podcast works. That's how all podcasts should work. We will pay everyone to be on our show. That's a lie. I won't pay anybody. Actually, I don't know. I might pay somebody. Depends who it was. Not you, Ruben.
Christopher Walken.
Yeah, okay. I was like, wait, hold on, what?
I'm saying that if there was if we got an actual band to be on the show and they were like, you have to pay us $500, I would be like.
I mean, I think the actual band who you should try and get is pretty obvious.
Yes, obviously.
The band with that crazy drummer who goes wild on the drums. Have you seen those videos?
The wedding band.
The wedding band. It's a wedding band.
You were talking about that Japanese cat. You know what I'm talking about?
I think we've seen different videos.
No,
it's like a mascot. He's like a Japanese mascot, okay? And they're like, "Yeah, I play the drums," and he's just like he just goes super hard.
Well, he does have good reflexes. It makes sense he'd be a good drummer.
Yeah, it's a very large costume too. It's impressive.
Damn, is this in Japan?
Probably.
Yeah.
God, I hope
game
so.
Show.
Yeah. Someone's like, it's Korean.
It always impresses me when people can play instruments in a big costume, like the dudes in Gwar or Slipknot. That's fucking to just be crazy on stage wearing all that stuff, like the big mask and the for Gwar, the big shoulder pads and shit. That's just
I've seen a couple novelty bands, and it's like, dude, that you are putting so much work into that because it's so. I mean, that's what it is,
right? Yeah,
it's good music, but it's a novelty, But it's like you can see the sweat just dripping out after they walked on stage, and you're like, oh,
you got 2.5 hours.
Yeah, you're about to punish your body.
They drop their pick and the struggle of trying to pick it up. It's like, oh man, dude, come on. Yeah.
I've seen the band Tupperware Remix Party live, and they're novelty. They have all this kind of stuff on. And this guy has essentially a traffic cone on his head and shoulder pads, and is doing karate kicks and nunchucks in the middle of the stage. And I'm like, I would take 3 steps in that outfit and fall over and die.
Give me 3 steps, mister. I especially at my age and this economy, no thanks.
Novelty bands in this economy?
Even regular bands are having a hard time. Yep. So, what has been going on in your life, Ruben? How have you been?
I've been doing it. I've been okay. It's weird to be a comedian in COVID era, but I've been having fun with it. I like to do a lot of people are like dunking on Zoom shows, but I have fun with them because I just like change my background and I use OBS to like put stuff in the front. Like I did a Halloween show and I superimposed my head onto a ghost body, and then I was dragging bats around the screen.
Oh, so good.
And I was like, "Oh, there's bats in here. I'm in a haunted house."
And was this also your set though, or were you?
Yeah,
doing, like,
this was my set.
Okay,
this was yeah.
Because it also I find it funny too. Is just like this, like bats and like on a ghost body, but you're just being like, man, parents are crazy, right, guys? You're just like doing your straight, usual set kind of thing.
If there was ever a lull, I'd be like, oh damn, those bats are back, and just have them go all over, and people are like, aha, he's struggling.
That's the good thing about Zoom shows. I've had this conversation with a few people. For Zoom shows, like they do get a bad rap, like you said, but it's because people don't do them right. Like every kind of show you have to is like a different kind of muscle, and you have to adapt to it. Like if you're doing if you're doing just material at a show, that's like one muscle. That's the muscle of memorizing your material, having the discipline to deliver it, and performing it live. And then you have the other muscle of like crowd work, which is like, being able to be quick and improvisational and like talk to people and like mess with them, but not turn them against you. And then this Zoom, phenomenon is a third new muscle where you have to like be able to play with the format and fuck around.
I think
technologically.
100%. I think alt comedy is thriving because of Zoom. Because you have to be different. You have to be weird. Regular stand-up does not work on Zoom.
Exactly.
So come in and go, quarantine sucks, right, guys? It's like, yeah, everyone knows because we're all sitting here watching stand-up comedy on our computer.
We're doing comedy in our room.
If I see one more person go, I don't know about anybody else, but quarantine's driving me crazy. I'm so crazy these days.
I have joined shows and I've used my friend's name, and then my background has been him sitting on his bed, so it looks like he's there. And I joined, and like I went to the bathroom, and then a couple of other people joined, and they started to talk to him, but he's not really there. So I just sat down. They were like, Ruben, why isn't Austin moving? I'm like, and they're like, oh god damn it, that's a background, isn't it? And I was like, yep, not real. And then he joined, and he was like, I hate you.
That's awesome.
That's
the thing. You have to like play with the format and like do weird shit like that.
That is the 2020 version of having your voicemail being, hello? Oh, hey, what's up? How's it going?
Oh my god, that was like such a good thing that we used to be able to do.
Well, that's like too, like my friend Adriana runs a show, and I do tech for it, so she always makes me a host, and anytime he joins, I change his name to Fart, which is so stupid. It's not funny at all. But I'll just like change certain parts of his name because his name is Austin Blaylock, and then he'll be there, and then I'll just get a text from him that says, "Why did you make my name Austin Blayfart?" And I'm like, because no one noticed except for you, and it rules.
I think my Zoom name is Charles Manson right now.
Oh my dear
just
God.
Because why? Like it's a Zoom show. Like it's fun and it's gonna be fun, but Lorne Michaels isn't watching it. Like the Comedy Central execs aren't fucking scrolling through open Zooms like, all right, where are we gonna get our next piece of talent?
Like I did get booked on a show in San Francisco last night solely through trolling on Facebook. Like apparently this person reached out to other comics in the area and was like, hey, do you know this guy? He's really funny on Facebook, but I don't know if like he's a good comic. And Jesse Hett was like, oh yeah, book him.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, cool. Like,
yeah.
Rick, are you in the Facebook comedy writing group on Facebook?
Oh God, no. I was in that clusterfuck for some time, and it's a group on Facebook with aspiring comedians.
Oh, boy. Or you say aspiring. You say aspiring comedians. I say xenophobic, transphobic racists.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I love the internet. But I just love having fun on the internet.
I had to leave that group because it was A, toxic, like you said, and B, the saddest attempts at comedy. Like, there will be, I mean, I don't want to like shit on anybody's comedy dream. Like, no matter what, you know, anybody's doing, I don't really want to like take anybody down. But there will be like somebody's grandpa who's in a house and he's just like, oh, I'm gonna do a funny joke about, hey, how many Mexicans are in a house? There's 3 of them because Mexico. 3 colors on the flag, 3 people in the house. And you're just like, what even is that? And like, how do you support that? And then it's got like 50 haha reacts by the other fucking hacks in the group who are just like, oh, that's right, 3, I recognize that.
But then, like, all the comments are just like people like Jesse Het who are like, why? Like, just like say that. And then there was one the other day by this woman who was like, technically, aren't all people transgender because you're born female? And that was her joke. And I said, that doesn't make any sense.
No.
And I said, this sounds less like a joke and more like something your drunk aunt says at Thanksgiving when she's had a couple too many. And then she proceeds to send me an article, like to post an article about that proves that, yes, you know, all embryos are female and blah, blah. And I'm like, but that doesn't mean all people are transgender, because if an embryo is a female and you become female, there's no transition there.
Yeah.
Like, you're still female. So I was like, so it's not all, it's half of people. And then she just kept telling me to look at the facts. And I said, all right, Aunt Linda, I think it's time to cut you off.
Put the Grigio away and let's get some coffee in her.
Yeah.
Aunt Linda, let's call her an Uber.
Look at the facts. Yeah, exactly. that statement of just like, oh, you just need to look at the facts is, I only hope that it's like slowly coming to an end. Like, I just hope, it's just, the world has changed now. We live in a different world. Not that, you know, it's better or worse, but it's definitely worse.
There is a small glimmer of hope, but it's still an awful, awful place.
Yeah. And that's really the message that I like to send on this show. Is that no matter how terrible the world is, at least there's music to help you along.
You know what? I can bring this back to music. I once saw a show.
I feel like
at Gilman.
I just did that.
No, but I have a story about a show about
Excellent.
music.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna do it better. because this is an actual musician. I was at a show at 924 Gilman. Yeah, 924 Gilman. It's a very historic venue in Berkeley. Absolutely love that place. And I saw this band, Bobby Joey Bola and the Children McNuggets.
There it is. There it is.
Okay.
Yes.
And they had this song called Life is Excellent. Okay. And the only positive line in the song is Life is Excellent. Everything else is about how terrible the world is. Tap water tastes like excrement. The sky rains poison. I can barely pay the rent. Okay. It's all terrible, terrible. And in kind of the bridge, the instrumental breakdown of it, he says, you know, that line, life is excellent. It's like a gummy worm in a dog turd. It's like one good thing that you just see in this mound of shit. And that is life. And hold on to that one good thing. And I was like, you know, he's right.
Really
it sucks.
I like that a lot.
It's a very good metaphor. And I hate how correct it is, but he is right.
Yeah.
That was really good.
At least there's that.
At least there's a gummy worm in every pile of shit.
But also, who's feeding dogs gummy worms?
Yeah,
I just left them on my side table. I'm sorry. I don't think so.
I don't think a dog's supposed to eat a gummy worm.
Nick, feed your dog a gummy worm right now and show us.
Feed him a worm.
Feed him
All right,
a worm.
Is that what they mean when they say, like, oh, my dog has worms? You're like,
gummy worms.
I feel like an all-star.
So,
are we talking about Smash Mouth? was that you trying to lead into Smash Mouth?
Just give me a second. I can make this segue work.
oh my god.
So I mean, yeah, the music, I guess, is that gummy worm. And I mean, so on this show, obviously, we pick an album, or we have a guest pick an album, and we go through track by track and kind of like talk about it, talk about memories associated with it, talk about fun shit, you know, whatever. before we started recording today, you sent me the album that you wanted to do.
Yeah.
And then you took that back,
Mm-hmm.
and then you sent me a different album. And I was like, all right, we'll do that one. And then you took that back, and then you sent
So
me the original
first
album.
again. Yeah, I was like, wait, no.
And we'll do that one. And I was like, okay, that's fine. That's okay. And then we were talking a little bit before the show, only to find out that you were very close to bringing an entirely different album altogether.
Yes.
Which was going to be Smash Mouth's Astro Lounge.
Yeah, okay. So last night, okay. I'm gonna say something that's gonna sound so braggy. I get asked to be on a lot of different podcasts, and they're like, "Oh, we'll talk about this, and we'll talk about that."
Hey, whoa, shit.
But I'm like, okay, whatever. We can talk about whatever. But this one, I was like, I need to bring something good. Like, I need to like talk about a real album because I'm not like a huge album person.
Yeah.
Like, I'll listen to like I have a record player, so I'll listen to like half of it, and maybe I won't switch it, or maybe I'll do whatever. I won't listen to the second disc or whatever. So I called my buddy last night when I was in San Francisco, and I was like, I screwed up, dude. Like, I'm on this podcast about albums tomorrow, and like, I'm gonna bring this, I'm gonna bring these two albums. And he goes, well, hold on, what album is All Star on?
That's the only. He doesn't care about the album at all. He doesn't care just the fact that All Star is on that album.
And I'm like, well, it's on, and I was like, oh, I know it. And he was like, yeah, I can see it. It's a spaceship, and it says the name of the album across it. I was like, yeah. And then we were like, oh, it's Astro Lounge. I did own that album as a child. It might have been one of the first CDs I ever owned.
I think we all owned that album.
I did not.
Yeah, it absolutely sucks.
It's Nick.
It does have a song on there called Stoned, about being too stoned to do anything.
Hell yeah.
A lot of people forget about that.
All right.
Yeah, dude.
Real
420, 69.
Quick question, Ruben. Do you know where they got the name Smash Mouth?
Oh God, no, I don't.
Okay.
Do you?
No, because we in another time we were talking about who were we talking about? Pearl Jam. We were talking about Pearl Jam, and Rick enlightened me that it is a ejaculation reference.
Huh?
Am I telling both of you this now?
Okay.
Huh.
How is? I thought this was like the most common knowledge in the world that Pearl
No,
Jam
I
has
guess
come.
I never thought about that. I guess.
It's
Because-
jam that's pearlescent.
Now you're gonna tell me Even Flow is also about that? Oh.
No, that's about having sex with a woman on her period. I'll have sex with you, even flow.
Oh,
Gonna
my God.
get my Pearl Jam.
Heavy flow. Got you an extra box from the store.
But I don't know. Now I'm worried where Smash Mouth comes from. It's like a hot dog water and chocolate starfish kind of thing, where you're like, oh, this is probably sex. I didn't expect a Limp Bizkit reference today, boys. Poo poo. No, but so Smash Mouth, I'm worried. But because I do know this. Okay, so my brother used to work for a friend of Steve Harwell.
And that is,
and he just
who is that?
That is the lead singer of Smash Mouth.
Okay.
That's just a guy. It has nothing to do with Smash Mouth. It's just a different guy.
Unrelated. Just a dude. But so he is. So he goes, hey, like, what's Steve like? And he's like, oh, he sucks. And he's like, he sucks? And he's like, yeah. He goes, yeah, we used to have a nickname for him. And he was like, oh, what was it? And he was like, it was the Hog. And my brother was like, why? Why did you call him the Hog? And he was like, oh, because he's a disgusting pig human. In every sense of the word. And my brother was like, oh, I thought it was going to be something weird. And he's like, no, it's because he's a human swine. He's absolutely disgusting.
We all got together. We thought we should think of a nickname for this guy, but it can't be anything with a lot of thought and effort put into it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. I love nicknames like that. Where you're like, oh, is there like a backstory, like where he's always eating, or like he's like, you know, when you're like sharing a hotel room bed with him, he's always taking the whole covers and stuff. I was like, no,
or he
he's
fucked
just
a pig one time.
Even that, it's like, yeah, there was a rumor that he got really drunk one night and he went out to the ranch, you know, but it's like, no, he's just a piece of shit, so that's why we call him the Hog.
He had a bunch of other nicknames too: dickhead, fuckboy, shitheart,
stupid garbage, idiot, monster.
Does he have any stories about him? Like, is there anything?
I'm sure.
Yeah,
Look,
can we have
I'm
an
sure
example?
he does.
Can you get him on the podcast?
Phone a friend. We have that. We have 3 different things you can use during the podcast. It's phone a friend, ask the audience, and I always forget what 50-50.
50-50. Well, you had half a chance of remembering it, or at least 50-50. Like I said, glad I get to edit this show. That's a win for me.
You can just take out all your bad jokes.
Yeah, and then I get to like think of better jokes later and then just insert them in. I do a lot of ADR for this show.
That's like, man, going over there. Oh, good one.
Well, I think it's time. We've been bullshitting for long enough. Let's get to the meat, the heart of the show. The meat heart of the show. Is the heart meat? This is the question before us today.
Look, I'm Hispanic. We'll eat anything.
I'm sorry about my joke about 3 Mexicans earlier then.
It's okay. I only knew that was wrong because it was a single digit.
God damn it. Today we are, of course, going to go over a record, an album, an effort. I always like it when in music, like actual music critic columns and blogs and stuff, they refer to albums as efforts. Like, in their sophomore effort, this band will.
That's weird.
It's like, I don't know. It's just one of those critic words that no one else uses. Like overlong.
Yeah, it's
or Everlong.
Or Everlong. Is this a hint at what album you're gonna do?
No.
Oh.
It's just a hint at a Guitar Hero song I'm mediocre at.
Oh, Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero.
I love that game so much.
Man, discovered a lot of great classic songs. What?
Oh, yeah.
For both of you, what is
100%.
like a song that comes on like a radio, a bar, like wherever you're at, and like you don't think of the artist, you go Guitar Hero.
Happy
Probably
birthday.
Jukebox Hero. Sorry, what?
What the
Happy
what?
birthday. Happy birthday.
Like, happy birthday.
to you.
Why
That was
does
on
that make you think
Hero?
of Guitar Hero?
I don't know. Got it on my birthday?
Did you get it on your birthday?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so hold on here. How old were you?
26.
Yeah, this was my last birthday, actually.
It was his last birthday, and he got
we went down to
Guitar Hero
Goodwill
2.
and picked one up. Yeah. I got the Beatles Rock Band.
I actually was in a focus group for Beatles Rock Band. I was one of the people that got to like answer questions about it before it came out.
I thought you were
Cool.
going to say I was actually in the Beatles.
I was in the Beatles. See the stash? Ringo.
Okay, don't like that I'm automatically Ringo. But
Don't.
Why, you want to be a dead one?
Paul's
Ew.
not dead.
Exactly.
Come on, Paul died like in the 60s. He was replaced
Fair
with
enough.
Billy Shears.
Yeah,
We all
exactly.
know this.
Yeah, that's why he's barefoot in Abbey Road. Think about it. Death.
Think about it.
Hey,
Just look at the facts, Ruben.
of the two, I hate you guys. Of the 2 remaining Beatles, which one do you think
Yes.
is a COVID denier? Because hypothetically, one of them is. And why is it Ringo?
He's just going around going, I can't get COVID, man, because I got peace and love. That's it.
Peace and love got to affect COVID.
I'm Ringo, not
Is it?
Masco. I've already got an accessory. I'm not going to get another one.
Wearing a mask makes you weak.
Look at the facts.
Look at the facts. Alex Jones says the masks are by the devil.
I like
Oh,
how
Ringo
you're
is a
kind of
huge
doing the
Alex
Ronald
Jones
Reagan,
fan.
I am not a crook while you do it.
That's Richard Nixon.
One of those shitty presidents.
I'm not a crook.
You're doing a great Grover Cleveland up there with your 2 peace signs. Getting on your biplane with the Wright brothers.
Very good audio medium thing to do. A double peace sign as I'm doing an impression. Which is not a good one. It's a terrible one.
There was. It was all right.
I really thought more was coming from that, Nick.
Me
I
too.
really
That's all I
thought something
could.
was going to happen there.
I didn't want to lie to him too much.
Well, like I said 15 minutes ago, it's time to get into the heart meat. This week's heart meat is an album by a band.
Mm-hmm.
I know this band. Not personally. I'm not friends with them. I'm not, I don't have my
Cool.
own, a hog of my own.
Yeah, really quick. I just when you hear the nickname the Hog, you're like, oh, it's probably sex, and then it's like, no,
Yeah, that's the other part of it. Yes.
Yeah, he's got a huge fucking ego.
So, like,
that guy sucks.
like he probably plays that where he's like, yeah, they call me the Hog, and then the girl's like, I heard they call you the Hog because you eat chili fries with no fork.
Out of a trough.
Oh my god.
That's the new Wiener Schnitzel.
That's
menu
where
item.
Smash Mouth came. That's where the name came from, because he smashed his mouth down into those chili fries to eat them.
It just came up and was like, I have an idea.
I'm an all-star.
I'm walking on the sun.
Hey now, you're an all-star. Can I get some more fries? And on that note, hey guys, this is Rick. We don't have any ads this week, but I hope you're enjoying the show. I sure was, and wow, I can't wait to get right back to it. Let's go there. This album is, I've heard probably a couple songs on this album. I'm not overly familiar with it, but I do like this band. Ruben, what is our album of the week?
It's called Astro Lounge by No, this album is called Talon of the Hawk by the Front Bottoms.
Talon
Ooh,
of the Hawk.
Talon.
Interesting.
Yeah, it came
Okay.
out in 2013, and the time that I really got into them was around, like, this album was their new album. Like, which is funny to me because I'm like, I'm going to talk about their new album, and then I, like, looked it up, and I was like, oh, I'm a dinosaur. Like, this is 7 years old now, and this is nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Like they have, like, had, like, 4 albums since then, but this is, you were saying sophomore effort. This is their second album, I believe.
That would be their sophomore effort.
That's their sophomore effort.
I think that's what that means. I spent a year and a semester in college, so I think that
Oh, well, you
think
did.
that-
You did better than me. I spent 10 years in college and never graduated.
All right,
Nick?
that's going to be another podcast. I went to 3 years of community college, and I got my AA.
Oh, you had to
Shut
go
up.
to AA after that.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's sad.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm
are you guys
recovering.
watching
Thanks
the
for
the
making
screen
fun
share?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. You started a screen share, and I thought a fourth person had joined, and I was like, "Oh,
It's the Hog.
who is?"
We have Steve Harwell.
Hey, man, I really would appreciate if you stopped talking about me on podcasts. I'm like, Steve, it's really all I got, dude.
You're just going around to all the different podcasts telling the
This
same
is the
Steve
fifth
Harwell
time,
story.
man.
You know they call him the Hog.
The worst part is this is not the first podcast I've told that story on.
And it better
That's gonna
not be
just
the
be your
last.
merch. You're gonna have shirts that just say they call him the Hog.
It's Steve Harwell in a Bigfoot-like pose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Oh, that's good.
But so this is the sophomore effort of Front Bottoms, huh?
Yes, I saw them probably soon. God, it had to have been 2013, 2014. It was pretty soon after this album had come out. And I saw them, and they were one of the opening bands for Say Anything, who, honestly, I just went to this concert, like, with a bunch of friends and my girlfriend at the time, and they were like, yeah, we want to see this, blah, 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 and I was like, sure, whatever, I'll go. Like, I wasn't even in the original group chat. It was just my friends and my girlfriend at the time had made this group chat to go to this concert. And one of them was like, should we bring Ruben? And another one was like, yeah, probably. And my girlfriend at the time was like, oh, yeah, I guess. And I'm like, cool. Thanks, I guess.
That's why his girlfriend at the time.
Yeah, because of my fear of commitment. But so if you... so I saw, and we'll talk about the song when it comes up, but they played some of these songs live, and it was just like, it was like, oh, this rule. I love live music.
Oh,
Like, and that's what's so funny to
100%.
me is, like, it's weird for me because albums and live music are like, it's weird because when a band does a live show, ever rarely, unless it's like specified, are they playing an album its entirety. They're playing the songs that either they know people like or that mean the most to them, but they're playing it in an order that they want to play.
Mm-hmm.
Where an album is like, you know, sometimes it's a story or it's an organized thing. And so when you're like, oh, an album, I'm like, well, I can think of like I set up set lists that like I've seen live when I'm like, or like I'll look up a set list 'cause I'm like, what was this song? And I like go and find it, and then I'll listen to the set list in that order.
Hell yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And so for me, like, to hear this album, I'm like, oh wow, they played because it was new, but they played most of this album.
Okay.
And
but was it in the same order?
No, because it was just like, now we're gonna play some new songs. Now we're gonna play old stuff, and I was like, yay.
That's so funny that you say that about
That's always how it is.
Finding set lists, because I do that when I see like a really good concert from like a band I love. I'll like find the set list, make a playlist, and then get nostalgic sometimes, like play and be like, oh yeah, ooh, this is the order that they did these songs in. Oh man, that's so awesome. Just like I like to nerd out and everything. So that's cool to hear that.
Yeah, I've seen. No, go for it, Rick.
Oh, I listen to a lot of Fish.
Shocker.
Yeah, that's my favorite band. Obviously.
I'm not looking forward to when we do a Fish album.
Oh,
it's gonna be a 4-hour episode, or
yeah. Well, I'll do a live album too. But that's the thing is, Fish releases all of their. No, it's just constant guitar and drums and syncopated pianos. Is that what you wanted?
Fine.
Was some good musicianship? Because you're gonna fucking get it. Tonight's album is by Fish now. No, they always release they release all of their concerts. They record all of them.
That's dope.
And release them all. So
see, that's awesome.
You always get to see like the whole set list and everything. And they're a band that never does the same show twice. So the set list is completely different, every time. They actually, what was it, in 2017, I think, did a residency at Madison Square Garden for 13 nights.
Woof.
And they didn't repeat a single song the entire 13 nights. And they partnered with a donut company to release themed donuts for each of the days.
Oh.
That rules. But, now it is amazing that it did 13 nights. But also, each set was only 2 songs long. So
yeah, but they were 2 really good songs, man. You've never heard a tweezer like this, bro. Yeah, but one of them was out of this world.
One of them was Weasel on the Bus.
They actually they have a song that literally goes, the tires are the things on your car that make contact with the road. It's called Contact, and that's literally the lyrics. The tires are the things on your car that make contact with the road. The wheels are the things on your car that take you back to your abode.
I'm glad that I've never listened to Fish.
Yep, me too.
They're so good. And that song is actually is a banger. It's a good song.
I mean,
that sounds like an REM song.
Hey, REM rocks too, man. I'm down.
I know, I love REM, but that sounds
like REM does have some strange names, like Swan H.
It sounds like the was Stand. That sounds like the
It just sounds like a nursery rhyme.
Yeah.
But I digress, because of course we're not talking about Fish. We're talking about the Front Bottoms.
Yes.
And so do you have any was that the first time that you had seen them live?
Yeah.
Was getting dragged to that concert?
Yes, and it was I couldn't tell you anything Say Anything did. But this band I was like, and we're in. I'm in. Like 100% I'm in, and it was amazing. I also since we talked about it earlier, I think they have a sex name too.
I was going to
they absolutely do,
because the Front Bottoms, yes.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
a vagina.
That's a girl part.
Yep.
That's the girl penis.
Just like an adult man leaning in and whispering, "That's a girl penis."
That's a girl penis.
Oh God!
Why do we not have a band called the Whispering Eyes at this point? I'm just saying.
Oh, I bet if you pulled up Spotify right now, you could find Whispering Eyes, and it's like some idiot from North Carolina who's like, "I made this band because it's funny," and it's like bangle, 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 bangle. I love Trump, and like that's it.
You had me up until the lyrics came in. Honestly, bangle, bangle. I was like, oh, this is kind of fire.
I would love a great EDM song that just has this like big build up, and then the drop is "I love Trump," and then just like, "Ah man, this was a banger." So it's like, ah.
Well, let's get to the fucking album, shall we? This first song is called wow. I don't speak. It's not only in a different language. It's in 2 different languages.
Yes.
It's called Au revoir, and then parenthetically adios.
Yes.
Let's play it. It's a good way to start an album.
For a second, I thought it was the intro to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
It'd be a much different show if this was the intro to Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. This is very, like, indicative of, like, when I think of front bottoms, this is what they sound like.
It's pretty iconic front bottoms.
And it's a lot of, like, short songs on here, too.
Yeah.
Oh, this is cool.
Cool. Yeah.
That's neat.
That's a solid intro to an album. That's a good way to test the water, get the toes in there. Ooh, it's warm. Let's get
Nick, have you listened to Front Bottoms at all?
No, I've never listened. I've heard of the name many times, but I've never gotten around to it. But I've heard good things.
They're one of those bands that I was like, look at this fun little underground band. And I like post about them, and then people are like, you're lame for liking them because everyone likes them. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, now I'm going to go listen to my second favorite underground band, the Mountain Goats.
My favorite underground band is the Rolling Stones.
The Velvet Underground, because it has underground in the name.
It's just in the name.
How can you not be even more underground?
Oh, so it's pretty like it keeps on with the same kind of like vibe. Oh no, it does build up. Yeah,
it builds a little bit.
It's just like good. I love
it's
good music.
I hate to say this because it sounds like I'm 100 years old, but it's like rock. It's rock music. Mm-hmm. I mean, they literally say rock and roll in it, which I'm like, but like it's genuinely good.
Yeah,
like that's what it is. It's rock. Like it's hard to explain.
Yeah, it's not like overly. It's not like pretentious or anything. It's just like we're playing some chords on an acoustic guitar with a bass and drums.
Yeah, and then there's the it kicks in but it's like it's a minute and 45 seconds. Like it's not a long song.
Oh, this is better than most songs on the radio that are like in the top Billboard charts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I like that one a lot because for me, like Au revoir and Adios, like it's such a solid freaking intro. And
it's funny that they're starting an album with the words goodbye.
Yes, which I really like. It's kind of it's. There's probably really not this much thought into it. Like, they probably like, oh, that's funny, put that at the beginning. But I like that because it kind of says, like, he's saying goodbye to someone, and he's like, you probably don't know what that means. I said adios. And she's like, don't talk down to me. Yeah. Like, and then she says au revoir, like, kind of back to him. Like, I bet you don't know what that means. And both of them are not very they're not very like hidden. Like, you know what they mean, even if you don't speak those languages.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like you're taught that as a child. Like in Hawaii, they say aloha. In blah blah blah, they say ni hao. And it's like you're taught that. And it's like Barney.
Yeah, my favorite part of Barney was the Chinese lessons.
Ni hao.
It was weird on Barney when he would just look directly at the camera and go, "We have to be prepared for the upcoming Chinese government overthrow." And they're like, "Aren't you like a stuffed animal? Like, why do you have such weird political beliefs?"
Support Hong Kong police.
Haven't you seen Firefly? They speak exclusively Mandarin. No, but I like that because it's kind of this mesh of it where it's like they're saying goodbye, but like he's kind of like thinking he's too good for it, but then she's like, no, I'm too good for it.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, it kind of like slows down really hard, and you're like, oh, he realizes he's an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
Like he almost doesn't want to be saying this right now. Like he's kind of like, this is such a weird comparison, but it reminds me of like in those old like movies where the animal has to go and they're like, get out of here, you stupid animal.
Yeah,
like they're like trying to make it leave by like belittling it.
Like Harry and the Hendersons.
Yeah. And then they like, put Old Yeller down. But they're like, oh yeah, get out of here, get out of here. And he's kind of like belittling her. And then she belittles him and he realizes, nope, I'm wrong. Like 100% like, and that's why I really like that song. Like that's probably one of, it bums me out that it's so short, but it's short for a purpose. Like, the Front Bottoms doesn't really like jam. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They're not just like, okay, now 45-minute instrumental break. Like it's just get to the point of the song. Okay, next song.
Sounds like a solid rock band. Good.
This next song is actually I do know this song. I like this song a lot. It is called Skeleton.
Yeah.
Just right into it.
Yeah. Such a good lead-in, too, from the last one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, because it was, like, slow down and, like, kind of gets quiet towards the end of Au revoir.
This could be a great opener for a show. I feel like you come out on stage and just start off hot, you know?
Oh, the front bottoms is such good walkout music.
Yeah.
I have very strong bones. This is like so good, and it's
like
crazy that it came out in 2013 because it has like an older quality to it.
Yes,
yeah.
100%.
Like it sounds like, I mean, it doesn't sound like it, but like it reminds me of like Blink-182 era.
I was just gonna say,
take off your pants and jacket and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hey, another jerk off thing. Yeah, but
I guess we're learning that all musicians are really just perverts.
Are big perverts. Yeah. Oh my! Listening to the jack-off music again. Oh boy.
Wait, is that not the name of this podcast? Listening to jack-off music again?
Jacking off with Rick and Nick.
Alright guys, today we're jacking off to the front bottom. Ready, set, jack.
Jacking off the front bottom sounds like my Friday night. Talking pornography.
No, what I like about them too, and specifically like this song, is like this is weird. It's very summer, like it's very upbeat. Like this is like such summer music where it's like you don't listen to this when it's like raining.
Yeah,
you listen to this when you're driving, when you're going outside. Like this is like pump up. Like, oh, this rules. Like this is. I hate the phrase driving music because what does that mean? But this is very much that kind of vein of like, you can put it, this is driving music, party music, you put it on, it's enjoyable, you're like, you can like jam to it. I'm trying not to use like very you can vibe to it. Like, no, but like, it just has a very like, no matter what the words are, it's very like gets you going.
Yeah, it's positive, it's upbeat.
Yeah.
I think Nick. I think you said it best when you said it sounds like the intro to like a show.
Yeah.
Like I could totally see that being, you know, some sitcom or something, and that's just like happening at the intro while they're all like running around outside, like being crazy, you know, doing all the weird crazy shit that they do in sitcom intros, like Friends.
Or it's very Malcolm in the Middle-esque, where it's like that kind of like family sitcom.
I
but
can see that. And I like that it's like it has that what is that? I guess it's the guitar, but like that tubey sounding guitar. It's like woo woo. And then they always have that like acoustic guitar going. It's so good.
And then I like to. I think
killing it.
Yeah, no, I like the chorus too of the like. I never sleep in the front seat. I fell asleep in the front seat. I got too tired because I'm so stoned.
Yeah,
like it's like, look, we've all fell asleep in the car. Like, and none of us fit in a car. I don't care who you are. You do not fit in a car to sleep. No. Nobody does.
Dude, last year I drove around the country for 3 weeks in a 2001 Toyota Camry that I slept in for 3 weeks. It was a nightmare. It was amazing, but sleeping was fucking awful.
Where did
like,
you sleep?
Cannot sleep comfortably
locate the car locations.
Rest stops and Walmarts.
Oh yeah.
Why not gyms?
I had a gym subscription. Nope.
Membership.
Subscription.
I subscribed to a couple of gyms. They come in the mail every week. I had a gym membership.
It's me, Jim Belushi.
Oh God, no! I would send that one back.
No, you want weed? Bye. That dude loves weed.
Oh really?
Oh yeah.
Well, maybe I wouldn't send it back.
Oh, look it up, dude. Jim Belushi has his own strain and everything.
Oh, interesting. Wow. I mean, it doesn't surprise us because I mean, what was his brother's history with narcotics?
Yeah, died from weed.
Yeah, too much weed.
One person.
Too much weed.
You want to smoke weed? You want to die like John Belushi?
Yeah, but I had a gym membership for showers. That was why I had a gym.
100%.
Like, so yeah, which was amazing to be able to just like show up at a 24-hour place and just shower whenever I needed to.
Yeah,
it was pretty useful. especially, oh my God, driving in like Louisiana where it's just muggy as fuck.
Ugh.
Like it feels when you step out of your car in the summer in Louisiana, it feels like when you step out of the shower in your bathroom and it's like full of hot, wet air and you can almost like not breathe. That's what outside is in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I can almost empathize with the people down there that don't want to wear masks. Almost. It's that fucking
COVID
bad.
can't survive in this humidity.
This next song. I have not heard this one, but it's got a cool name. Do you have any memories associated with this one, Ruben?
Yeah, so I really like I Swear to God the Devil Made Me Do It, because the name suggests what it's not going to be, but it really is kind of like a love song. But then again, based on the last two tracks, like you kind of know how that's going to go with them doing a love song. Like it's not a slow, sappy ballad. But if you really listen to the words, you're like, oh, this is 100% a very modern love song. Because he's singing about like, I want to I think he says something about like, I want to say it in a whisper that's just loud enough to shout. I want you to be in the kitchen and hear me confessing on the couch. Like it's very real scenarios that you like, that means nothing, but you also know exactly what that means.
Yeah.
You know, like you as a person in, you know, the modern era knows what that is like. Someone who's, you know, grown up and been like, oh, 100% had conversations like that. Like where you just, like you're laying on the couch just talking to somebody as they're doing whatever in the kitchen or nearby, and you're just confessing everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I feel like that's how a lot of the front bottom songs are. Is it's like little pieces of like a life that this guy wants.
Yes, 100%.
Like, yeah, that's how it always feels to me. But this is Swear to God the Devil Made Me Do It.
Love that noise. Absolutely love that
I
noise.
wonder what that is.
It's probably just a
phaser?
synthesizer.
Oh, cold drum roll. Ta-ta.
Yeah.
Little horns.
Which is good. It's like, it's just... It's like I said, it's just little pieces of a life. Like I feel like that's every song is like a little vignette.
Where are these guys from?
I could have sworn it was Canada, but that might be wrong. They're from Jersey.
Is this like the pre-chorus?
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that the vocals don't necessarily follow the music. It's like the music is happening, and then the vocals are like he's just like yelling, basically
just
over
like
it,
dancing around all the instruments and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, but it still fits in. It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. That's great.
All right, guys, you can see my penis now.
We see you're sharing stones. What was I gonna say? Oh, his voice.
I call them my sharing stones.
His voice is a weird combination of like there. I don't know. There's like a sense of like he can't sing, but he can carry a tune and it works.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like not a traditionally good singer, but like it works. That's why again rock and roll. Only in rock and roll.
I totally agree. You want to say he's whining, but he's not whining because whining has such a negative connotation. But it kind of, it's like liquid like that. Like it's really weird to explain his voice.
It's very emotional. Like it's very like every word just has like emotion in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and what, like, okay, this is related, but like when I was a kid, my grandma would always ask us what we want for Christmas. And one time I said, oh, I want the CD. It's by this band Modest Mouse. She was like, all right. So what my grandma would do is if we asked for CDs, she would go to the Walmart, and they used to have these stations where you could listen to the tracks. So she listened to the whole album. Okay?
Oh, wow.
Because she was curious, like, what kind of music does Ruben like?
Mm-hmm.
She then called me, and she was like, hey, I listened to that Modest Mouse album. And I was like, yeah? What did you think, Grandma? And she was like, I like that his voice matches the music.
Yeah.
because they're
yes.
both so weird. And if he was a good singer, like a classically trained singer, it wouldn't sound as good. And if they were a normal band, quote unquote, it wouldn't, like if they didn't have this weird kind of rustic vibe, it wouldn't mesh. And to me, that's kind of like Front Bottoms, is their music is very like he couldn't be a good singer, like he couldn't sing like you couldn't get someone who's classically trained to sing like to sing for them, because it wouldn't mesh as well.
Yeah,
Right.
totally.
Like, it sounds very garage. It sounds homegrown.
Yeah, I feel like that's the bands that actually make it, is not the ones that are necessarily, oh, we have like an incredible singer and an incredible this, like, and we're all like, you know, we're all good. It's the bands that match each other.
Yeah.
Like, I played in a band for a few years,
Here we go.
but I played bass in a band, and there was like two bassists before me. One of them was like really, really technically talented. Like he was like a really good guitarist, and so he kind of transferred those guitar skills over to bass more. So it was like a lot of melodic stuff, and he was really, really talented. But when I joined the band, I wasn't necessarily as technically good as him, but the style matched. Like it just meshed way better, and the band sounded better. And that's when we started picking up steam, and like that's when we recorded an album and did the radio thing, and like all that stuff was once I joined the band, because it matched them.
Yeah. And that guy's name, Paul McCartney.
And that band,
Wings.
yeah, I replaced Paul McCartney in Wings as just the bass player. He still sings. I just play bass.
Just left that bass.
No, I play his violin bass. You can't slap a violin bass.
Oh, you could.
No, legally, you get in trouble.
The hog could.
The hog, hey, the hog does what he will.
The hog will slap anyone and anything.
That's his prerogative. Prerogative.
No, we got it.
Because
No, I got it. You said it, and my first thought was, well, there's your first merch for this show. It's just prerogative.
your prerogative. That's awesome.
With a picture of
I can't wait till we do a
Smash
Britney
Mouth.
Spears album and we actually do that song too.
That day will come.
Yeah, especially with Nick on the show.
You like Britney Spears, Nick?
I love 90s music. I love like all the boy band and all that kind of stuff. I'm a sucker for it.
You like
I'm a
O-Town?
sucker.
I want like, what?
Do you like O-Town?
Oh hell yeah! Do you want to get into O-Town right now?
Oh my god.
Yeah, dude, I remember O-Town. We had a family friend who his daughter was really into O-Town. And I'm sure if you're listening to this, you don't know who O-Town is.
No.
O-Town they were a
I
boy
don't know who
band.
O-Town is.
They were a boy band who they were kind of the first reality. They were
the first making the band. Do you remember making the band,
I
Rick?
see.
They were the first season, and and P Diddy was in on it. He was right.
Yeah. I believe he was one of the producers or something.
Yeah, and so like it was like this reality show where they like did this contest and found these guys and voted them out, but until you finally got like the final five, and then you like watched them like live together and then like recording this album and stuff, and then they made great songs. Do you remember Liquid Dreams?
Unfortunately, yes.
The dirtiest boy band song ever. Okay, we'll have to do.
Oh, it's about coming in your sleep.
Yes.
Probably, yeah.
And it's like
Pearl Jam's about cum.
Anyway,
You know where I like to do a lot of my coming is on my twin size mattress. This is actually probably my favorite Front Bottom song.
100%.
This is for the lions living in the wiry, broke down frames of my friends' bodies. When the
So good, just such good poetry.
Yeah, 100%.
I
love this line, too.
But I will help you swim. I will help you swim. I'm gonna help you swim.
Just that right there. Right? I love that. He's talking about water, and then that comes in and flows.
Yeah.
Like, this just flows so hard.
It's the space in it, the space in the music, like the fact that like the bass and then the snare, and then in between is just he's hitting the side of the drum.
Yeah.
And it's just like so open, and then the bass in the background kind of like filling in all that space makes it just sound so liquid.
Man, a lot of these songs I'm sure are like a little difficult to play because it's live, because like there's so many songs where like you all have to be on the same page at the same, come in on the same beat, and like, everyone's kind of doing a little bit of their own thing, but like this is beautiful. This is like a solid band.
Yeah, well, and I like this part he's about to do. He says, maybe we could find something for you to do on stage. Maybe shake a tambourine, and then tambourine kicks in. And then he says, oh, when I sing, you sing harmonies. Yeah.
So good. So good.
Yeah.
So good. Such a good fucking song. That's, like I said, my favorite Front Bottom song.
And that was the one where when they played that live, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like the whole crowd just, like water. Like, it was just so fluid and liquid in it. Yeah.
And
do you remember what point in the set that was?
Oh, I think that was like towards the middle.
Okay.
I think or maybe the end, but it was just like, I was like, whoa. Like, it just changed everything.
Was that the make or break for that band for you?
That was it. That was the point where I was like, and I'm on board with everything.
Yep.
Like, I'm like, I feel like a lot of bands you see live,
all that stuff.
Yeah, they have that moment where you're like, and I'm in.
Yeah.
Like I'm on board, 100%.
Exactly. I remember when I went and saw Fish. Okay, so here's my Fish. Have I told this on the podcast already, Nick?
No.
My Fish story.
Here we go.
Okay.
How big was it?
It was this big. Shows my penis.
The size of a hog.
That's a small fish.
It's a minnow. It's a big minnow.
Wait a minute, that's a frog.
Oh god, my dick's got legs. Legs for days, baby. They go all the way down to my balls.
Wait, what?
My dick legs go down to my balls all the way, baby.
I mean, look, that shouldn't be.
If my dick is a frog, it has legs. Okay,
but where did the legs sprout?
Out of the sides of it.
But if they go down, you said all the way down. That's not very long.
Hang. They just hang. No, they're not. They don't. I didn't say they were long. I said they went all the way down to my balls.
But when you say all the way down, it
all
implies
the
long.
way down.
Yeah, that implies length.
Hey, no, you're inferring. I'm not implying anything. I just said they went all the way down to my balls.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes it even longer. The longer the L's,
all
the longer.
The way down.
Oh boy, here we go.
Tell your disturbing fish
so
story.
So go ahead. That one time you're at a Fish concert.
Yeah, that 130 times. So the first time, I didn't like Fish at the beginning. Like I heard some album cuts, and I was like, this band's okay, whatever. It wasn't really my style. I was like into different music at the time, and so my friend called me on the phone where you call people, and he's like, hey, I can get Fish concert tickets. I for like $20. I was thinking of going. Do you want to go? And I was like, no, I don't know, because it was like a drive. I had to go from where I live in on the Central Coast up to Mountain View to Shoreline Amphitheater. So it was like a drive, and it was like a whole thing with a band that I didn't really know that much or really want to see. And so I was like, nah, don't worry about it. Don't give me a ticket. It's fine. So he goes, are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I don't need to. I don't need that in my life. I have enough. All I have is negativity. I don't need any positivity. And so he's like, okay. And so I hang up the phone. But I was watching the Jim Carrey movie, Liar, Liar. No, not that one. I was watching the Jim Carrey movie, Yes Man.
Okay. Even worse.
Different movies.
Good.
And
nope, not that one. I was watching the Jim Carrey movie, Man on the Moon.
Nope, not that one. I was watching the Sam Rockwell movie, Moon. And so in Yes Man, the whole conceit of the movie is that he just starts saying yes to everything. He goes and sees a therapist or something, and she's like, oh, you need to be more open and say yes to things.
That's not the plot of that. That's not what happens, but keep going.
What something happens, he has to say yes to things, right?
It was like a cult, not a cult.
It was a cult. It was like
it's Sam Rockwell. No, it's Malcolm McDowell.
Yes, it's like a Deepak Chopra-esque kind of person of like The Secret.
Yeah.
That's what it
like,
was.
Yes.
Either way,
Zoe Deschanel's a mermaid, I believe.
In real life,
that's a great band. I love that band in the movie.
They're actually really
about
good.
Being like a novelty thing. Like I would go to that band all the time.
It was kind of like in Bill and Ted when Primus is playing. You're like, oh shit, this is dope.
Yeah, right.
So I was watching Yes Man, and the conceit is he sees, he talks to that whatever, and he has to say yes to everything.
Yeah.
And so I was watching that right there, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a cue from this. I'm just gonna say yes. What's it gonna hurt? I'm gonna say yes. And so I call him back on the phone, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Give me that ticket. I'll go. And he's like, yeah, dude, awesome. That's great. So I talked to another friend who's like, yeah, dude, I'm going to bring some acid to the show. Like, we'll do acid at the show. It'll be fun. And I was like, hell yeah, I am down now. Like, I'm going to have a great time. I don't care about the band. It's going to be great. And so we are driving there, and he took a motorcycle, and we were in a car. So we had to stop so often for him to get gas. So we stopped to get gas one time, and we're like hours away, and he goes, so I didn't want to say this like earlier, I've been waiting to say this, but I forgot the acid at home. I forgot to bring it. And I was just like, how do you forget? That's like the whole reason I'm coming to this shit. Like, how do you forget? And so I was upset. I was like, this is going to suck. I'm not going to have a good time. I'm not going to be able to do my drugs that I want to do, and I'm going to see this band.
Woof.
Yeah, that I really don't want to see. And so I get back in the car. We drive the rest of the way there. We lock ourselves out of the car at one point when we like park in San Francisco, and we lock ourselves out of the car. And I'm just like getting already done with this trip. We finally get to Shoreline. We get to the show, and we wait a long fucking time. And now Phish never has openers. They don't have any openers at all. The lights go down and they come on stage at some point. Yeah. And so we're all just kind of hanging out, talking to some random people, whatever. People are pretty cool. The lights go down. Phish comes on stage. Everybody starts cheering. They are 2 seconds into the first song, and I'm like, yep, I'm in. This is immediately yes.
Well, like Shoreline is a really good place to see a band like that too.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you can just literally lay on grass and listen to music.
That hill. Oh, it's beautiful. And you can
still
see everything.
The hill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was awesome, but it's so funny that like there are bands that it took you a half a set for Front Bottoms to play that song that like hooked you and then made you a fan. I went and saw Phish. It was the first song, like it wasn't even a song that I had heard before. It was just like and I was like, oh shit, this is amazing. And then for the rest of the night, I was just like dancing around, singing the wrong lyrics. They have a song where they sing, it's called Halley's Comet. They go, Halley's Comet. And I thought they were saying hell is coming. So I'm just running around this hill shouting hell is coming. And I was like, I don't even care that I don't have these drugs. I don't give a fuck. It was awesome.
There's another band, there's a musician called Rich Alcoin, and he's Canadian, and I got to see him at the Ritz, which is a smaller venue in San Jose, and he was opening for Twerp for Tupperware Remix Party, and he comes out in a full jumpsuit and a spaceman helmet, and I'm like, I don't care what's about to happen, I'm 100% in. And then he literally, for one of his songs, got one of those child, what are those called? The umbrellas? Not an umbrella, but the ones that you run under. Where it's like a big circle.
A parachute?
Oh, the big canvas?
A parachute. Yes. A parachute. And he had everyone in the crowd throw it up.
Yes.
And he got in the crowd and got in the middle and started singing in the middle. And then we all ran into it and we're all just dancing and singing.
Oh my
and
God.
I'm like, I'm 1,000% into this. Like, and that was the last concert I got to see before everything. And I was like, I just want that to happen again. I want that experience again of just having fun at a show. Like, I miss having fun at shows. And like, for me, if I'm having fun at a show, if I'm enjoying a show, that's the point of it. The music can be mediocre. If it's a fun, ridiculous show and I'm enjoying being there, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, if you're putting on a good show and you're having fun and we're enjoying it and everybody's laughing and just having a good time, that's the point of live music.
Exactly.
Perfectly said. I love it.
So let's see this. Let's go on to track number 5 now.
Yeah.
There's 12 songs on the album, so we're almost halfway through this thing.
Yeah.
Nick, what do you think so far? Having never heard Front Bottoms before,
this is great.
And now hearing a few songs, what do you think?
This is great. When are they playing a show again?
He's in. He's in.
This is, you know what? This is one of the, I don't know, shitty parts of like getting into new music this year. Because like I'm such a person of like, ooh, love this band. where can I see them? Because it's like stepping stones sometimes, and it's just kind of like it's just sad that it's just not an option at the time. But I'm loving this.
I know.
It's great. It's solid. It's rock and roll, man. I
Yeah,
don't care
it's
if it's
good.
cheesy. It's rock and roll.
This song is called Peach. This is another song that I really like. And it's a very beautiful love song.
It also starts very Nirvana.
You are my peach.
Yeah.
You are my plum. You are my earth. You are my sun. All of your fingers, all of your
So nice. Such a beautiful, just like nice thing.
I feel like Kurt Cobain
Yeah.
could have written this song if he didn't meet Courtney Love.
reason I'm smiling. There's nothing to smile about. Yeah, you are the reason I'm smiling.
It's just literally just a beautiful love song. Right?
Yeah.
Great.
It's so good. I say that on every song. Oh, this is just so good. This is so good. But
But it truly is genuinely like what I like too is I do believe it's Peach, where it's very positive, and then one of the lines is I want to be stronger than your dad was for your mom.
yeah,
That is so personal
right?
and so real.
Yeah,
And like whether you've gone through something like that or not, you know exactly what that means. You know
Exactly.
what he means when he's saying it, and you know that the reason that he's saying it is because of how personal it is.
Mhm.
Whether you specifically it doesn't mean anything to you, you know that that's not just a common thing.
right.
And your brain kind of fills in with whatever that could be.
Mhm.
Like, because everybody has different parents and everybody has different relationships with their parents and so on and so forth, but like
Mhm.
your brain fills that in. Could be divorce, could be something else, could be whatever. You know what that means. Like, and you know that because he's saying it, he genuinely cares about this person.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's like
Yeah.
I think the personal, because it's so personal and specific, I
Yeah.
think that makes it more accessible than something just like I want to be stronger for you or something like that.
Yeah.
Because it's so specific, I feel like it's more accessible because it's more like it's more relatable, even
It's
even if
raw
it
and
hasn't
real.
personally happened. Yeah, exactly.
It's so it takes it from being a generic I love your fingers, I love your toes to like your dad wasn't strong enough
Mhm.
and I want to be strong enough. Like I
And it
want to
doesn't-
be yeah.
It just doesn't feel like he's trying to, like sometimes you'll hear a song and you're like, okay, like, oh, you're really trying to be sad right now, or like it's just like just trying to rhyme words and like, something, but it's just like you can feel the realness. It's super genuine. And I feel like that's what's really
This is not a generic love song.
yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah, which like Bo Burnham has that whole joke about like love songs are just like I like your nondescript hair and I like your nondescript eyes and I like your average height and I like your average weight and I like everything about you that is probably generic. Like
Yeah, I like how your legs go down to your feet or whatever.
yeah, and this is like I want like this is taking a very specific moment in this person's life and saying I know that I know how important that is to you.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, that says everything I need to say about
Yeah,
Peach.
that's
I think.
just-
I mean,
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's exactly what it is. It's a specific, beautiful love song to
And
a
it's-
specific person.
It's such a sleeper hit on this album too. Like I
Yeah.
think like the big one really is Twin Size Mattress, but that following Twin Size Mattress and being like so important. Oh, something too that I love about I didn't say this about Twin Size Mattress, but the reason it's called that is because at the end he says she's wishing that I sleep on a twin size mattress in someone's attic or basement my whole life. Never graduated, and he starts singing and it's like again so specific.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know someone in your life that wishes that you don't succeed.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That wishes that you stay what they believe you are. It's just this like nobody who's a couch hopper who, will never amount to anything, and it's like it's so real. And that
Yeah.
and we're gonna say that 1,000 times with the front bombs, but
Mhm.
everything they're singing about is so personal, even though it's still roughly vague. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like your brain fills it in. You go, oh yeah, that's what I think. That's what I feel like they're singing. Like, yeah. I mean, I totally filled it in with like, oh, they think that they're better than me. But
Yeah.
like,
Mhm.
yeah,
No, absolutely. It's that's the thing about this band is because all their songs, like the guy that writes all this music is writing from a place of like he's writing what he knows, like from a personal place, and that's always going to be feel more real and feel more accessible than a generic Bo Burnham love song,
100%. 100%.
So I'm not very familiar with the rest of the songs on this album. I think I've maybe seen this next track, but I don't think I've listened to it. This one is Santa Monica. Oh, dope.
Those horns.
Love horns.
Love horns. I love horns.
Make me hornful.
Make me horny. Someone had to say it.
And the drummer is so good too. Like, it's
the
like
positivity.
Sounds simple, but it's not simple.
Exactly.
Like those little hi-hat runs.
Ooh.
I feel like an emotional baby boy.
I dibs on Emotional Baby Boy for my first comedy album name.
I'm not an emotional baby, but not yet an emotional man. That's the second Britney Spears reference in this episode.
That's toxic.
I'll put a counter up.
You're lucky if you can only get that many.
Oops, you did it again.
Oops, I did it. God, wow.
You guys are making me crazy.
My loneliness is killing me. That's not a Britney Spears reference. I'm gonna die.
I dated Justin Timberlake, and then he made me the devil, and his career exploded while mine tanked.
Yeah, for real. Cry me a river.
I mean, that's a whole thing we get on, but that story's nuts. But
God, have you seen her Instagram lately? Anyway, no.
She doing better?
No. Just we're just gonna go down a dark rabbit hole. She is not doing well.
I did see that thing where she claimed to run a mile faster than Usain Bolt.
I did see that.
And I believe her.
The fastest person on earth.
She just said, like, just ran a mile. Here was my time. And people were like, that is literally faster than Usain Bolt.
You cannot do that. Oh, but I did it.
Yeah.
Hey, I wouldn't put it past her, She's done some amazing things, and maybe she's just that fast.
My favorite Britney Spears video of all time is the one where it's from her Vegas residency, and she's on stage, and there's just a man in the crowd who calls out, "Who is it?" And then the track kicks in and he goes, "It's Britney, bitch." and she's literally trying not to laugh because she's clearly lip syncing. So,
right,
because it's all on a timer. But he knows exactly. So he goes, "Who is it?" And she's like laughing and it's Britney, bitch.
I need to know more about this guy.
Fan.
Yes.
Yeah, who is this guy?
You could probably get him on here.
Wonder if I have to pay him.
He's worth the money.
It's the hog.
Oh shit!
No, I like Santa Monica because it's a genuine. Again, it's such a poppy. It's weird because all the music is poppy.
Mm-hmm.
It's very upbeat, very boom, boom, boom. But like that song is like sometimes literally the first line is sometimes I cry when I get sad.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, is this emo music? Like, is this what emo music is? And you're like, oh yeah, because it's all super emotional.
Yeah, exactly.
Not every emo song has to be, oh, I'm the used, I cry and I wet myself. Like it can be something that's genuinely like, I'm emotional and I don't know why I'm emotional. But please don't go. And you're like, oh Jesus.
And I like the emotional baby boy, emotional man.
Yeah.
Like that's just a cool because like as a dude, you do feel like a baby boy when you get emotional. Just,
you feel
from
weak.
Societal pressure, you feel weak.
You were told that you were weak if you were emotional.
Yes.
And like thankfully, we're kind of living in this era where that's not being pushed on kids as much. Like you're not weak for feeling emotion. You're not weak for this. Like, and I'm like, where was that when I was a child? Because I cried in like Avengers, and I'm like, I'm a weak little man.
Yeah.
Like, I cried, and this is not a joke. My girlfriend and my mom both make fun of me. Two separate people. My girlfriend and my mom both. Cry? Yeah. Well, they make fun of me because we'll see movies or we'll talk about movies. I'm like, yeah, that one made me cry. And my girlfriend's like, yeah, I know. Like when I saw Rise of Skywalker. Look, spoiler alert if you've never seen Rise of Skywalker. But they fake you out with thinking that they just killed Chewbacca.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah.
And I was bawling because I'm like, that's how they're gonna send my boy out. They're just gonna be like, oh, he's dead now. He exploded.
Oh, you
and
see
Look what
he
they've
washed.
done to my boy.
Look what he done,
Yeah,
my boy.
I was like, that's how they're gonna send him out. And then they're like, oh no, just kidding, he's not dead. But now when Leia dies, we're gonna cut to Chewbacca, who's standing there silently crying because all
Yeah.
his friends are dead. And I was like, well, this is even worse. Why couldn't he have
At
died?
that scene, Chewbacca
Yeah,
wishes he
you
was
don't
on the
want to
spaceship
outlive
that
all your
exploded.
friends.
Well, it
Oh,
sucks.
spoiler alert! No, I'm just kidding.
But it's also like Chewbacca is like 900 years old, so he's
Yeah.
outlived all his friends multiple times.
He just gets used to it.
Yeah, which is awful.
It's like owning pets.
Yeah. All his pets died, so he needs to get new ones.
I wonder what he feeds Han Solo.
Nothing anymore.
Nothing anymore, and never again. I cried at that movie when, that's not what I was thinking. I was thinking of, I cried at Captain Marvel.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
at like towards the end, when she's like getting up. And it shows all that
Oh,
flashback
yeah,
from
you
her
know what, that
past
is a
of like
beautiful
all the
montage,
times that she
yes.
got up in the past. I was like, "You
Good for
fucking
you.
do it! You
Good for
fucking
you.
get up again!" Like,
I
and
love-
like I think about that shit for like little girls who didn't have like a strong
Yeah.
superhero, and like now there's like Rey and there's Captain Marvel, and they're getting all these awesome
And
role
the
models getting to see
Ghostbusters.
themselves. And the Ghostbusters, the critically acclaimed and highly successful Ghostbusters reboot. But it's so that was what made me cry. Was
Yeah.
just like it was just like so awesome and like meant something to see that.
My favorite is when like it's usually men, obviously, who are like, Captain Marvel sucks and it's bad, it's the worst Marvel movie ever. And I'm like, hey, do you like Terminator? And they're like, yeah, I love the Terminator. Terminator is great. And I'm like, it's the same movie.
Yeah,
Oh, no, it's no, not because this one has a girl in it. And
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
it's Captain Marvel is literally just the Terminator franchise. And which there's nothing wrong with. That's what they do for Marvel films. Is they take something popular and they're like, well, let's this is inspired by this.
Mhm.
The first Captain America is just another Indiana Jones movie, and that's why it's fun. That's why it's enjoyable. Like
That's good.
punching Nazis, baby, never gets old.
exactly. But this time he's got a shield.
What if he punched him with a shield?
And they're like genius. Also, that's like one of the only times he's ever shown wielding a gun.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, he never does it again.
No, it's like when Batman has a gun in the new Batman movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Batman
like,
He has
versus
a gun
Superman.
for a little bit. You're just like, what the fuck? It's so weird.
Killing people too.
So this next song's called "The Feud."
I was trying to think
Batman
of a segue.
versus Superman.
I was trying to think. Yeah, exactly. I was trying to be like, okay, Batman versus Superman. I remember that
Family
Batman,
Feud.
This is the feud.
I was so bored.
Oh fuck yeah!
This is a mosh pit song.
Oh yes.
This is like emo punk
Yes.
But like,
with acoustic guitars.
try not to move to this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, just see the emotional, like the emotionality. I don't know of his voice when it's just like he just gets into it. So cool.
Yeah, it's just good. It's enjoyable. Rick, this is something we haven't talked about. We are doing screen share, and we can see the rest of your tabs. What is? Let me try and read it here. Big lady smash cake in mouth. What is that one? What is that?
Pretty self-explanatory. It's a large woman smashing a cake into her mouth,
Why?
and it's something that I watch that soothes me.
I got banned on Twitter. Now, what I'm about to say will show the timeline of when this happened. I tweeted at real Donald Trump. Hope you get coronavirus, idiot. And I was mute. I was banned for 24 hours. A couple months later, I tweeted, look like my tweet was correct. If I can predict the future, that means I will find $42.86 in my pocket. I wanted
Did you
to
end up
shoot it.
finding that money?
I did not find any money. I wanted to shoot it low though,
Right.
and add a couple dimes and nickels
Yes.
and stuff for reasonable, make
Yeah.
it legitimate.
Mhm.
I can't be like, I'm gonna find $1 million. Like, no, it is quite possible if I went through all of my clothes, I could find about $42.
But I like it too because it's such a specific number that
Yeah.
you know that you've told the future. Like if you're like, oh, I'll probably find $20 in my pocket, and you find $20 in your pocket, that's like pretty cool. You're like, oh wow, that's what a coincidence. But if you're like, I'm gonna find $42.86 in my pants, and that exact amount of money comes out,
Yeah.
you're a wizard, Harry.
That's a good... What was that from? What was that reference from?
That's just something my dad used to tell me. He just,
Is Harry
I
your
grew
middle name?
facial hair at a young age, and so, and I don't know if you know this, but a wizard is somebody over the age of 30 who hasn't had sex. So he was trying to predict the future. You're a wizard, Harry.
Oh. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's dead.
Oh. Rip.
What did you do?
Well,
What
he
did he
called
do?
me
He's
Harry.
not in
He called me a
jail.
wizard too many times. I stabbed his ass
Oh.
with my wand.
Is that your penis?
I cast a Vada Kedavra on him.
With your penis?
Yeah, well, my penis, I held the wand with one of my penis legs. Kind of wrapped it around.
His
I just
elder
want to
wand.
clarify. You, Rick Storer, killed your dad by stabbing him to death with your penis.
No,
Which
well,
had-
my penis stabbed him to death with a wand. It was holding a wand. Did my penis at some point make contact with his body?
With whose body, Rick? I just need you to say it out loud.
Well, you know, we're all made of star stuff. You know, we're all just atoms with.
No, my name is Ruben.
I mean, the first. It's Adam and Steve, not Adam and Ruben.
Oh, fair enough.
This
We
next
could get
song.
into it too, but like Adam, that's really the name you want to give to the first person.
It starts with
Adam.
A. It's the first letter.
Yeah, but like, why not like Geraldo? Like, that's a cool name. Or Bonesaw.
Yeah, dude. If I was God, I totally would have named the first man Bonesaw.
This is Bonesaw McHuge Dick.
And his girlfriend, Smarty McTits.
Oh my god, Smarty.
And their
McTits.
kids. Motorcycle and platypus. I don't know.
And Captain America.
Their kids. Captain America and Han Solo. You don't get it now, but you're going to love it. Your kids will love it.
He has a real Back to the Future vibe. You guys don't get it now. He's really ahead of his time.
He picks up the phone. He's like, "Doo, doo, doo. Hey, Allah, it's your cousin.
It's your cousin, God Allah.
You know that song sound you were looking for? Check out this. I named him Bonesaw.
Wait, you saying I should eat this apple? Wait, hang on a second.
Oh, no, Bonesaw, no. I'm
No,
gonna
not the
call him,
apple bone saw.
I'm not going to call him Adam.
God.
Me.
And scene.
Cut and print.
That's what we do on this show.
So what's this next track?
This next track, we're on track number 8. This is, funny you should ask.
Oh. I like that drum roll lead in.
Reminds me of Nick Cannon.
Ooh.
This is like a weird 50s vibe.
Yeah.
Very beach party.
It's got like that simplistic, like, guitar, like, melodic line.
Yeah.
This band, like, there's so many really good things about it.
100%.
I feel like when you start to listen to this band, when you start to hear a few songs, you're like, wow, these lyrics are really cool. Like, these are, like, really good lyrics. And then you listen more and you're like, this drummer is really good, too. Like, and then you listen more and you're like, oh, everything they're doing is very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it takes a good musician to... This is going to sound so weird. It takes a good musician to not sound good.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
to
true.
have a very specific style. Like, they sound garagey. Which, again, these words have such negative... Like, garagey doesn't sound good, but it's like... It is a good thing.
Oh,
Like,
oh,
this
absolutely.
this sounds like a band that you see somewhere, and someone's like, "Hey, you want to go to the show?" It's at this like little small place. Like, as much as I love them, the Front Bottoms are not a shoreline band.
No.
They're not a stadium band.
No, but
Because
it
they're not
wouldn't be
someone you
fun
wanna-
to see them. They wouldn't
Yeah.
want to be that way, I don't think.
But they're not somebody you'd want to see there. You'd want to like I saw them at I don't even know where I saw them, but it was like a smaller place. You know, there were some seats, but it was mostly just, you know, general admission, and it was good. It was good to see that this is a general admission band.
Yes.
And if you go somewhere with a general admission that where the general admission's up front, because at Shoreline it's up in the back in the, you know, on a hill on grass. But this is you want to get as close to the stage as possible and just jam. Just be up there and, you know.
Because with a band like this, the closer you are, it's like comedy. Comedy is best in an intimate setting.
Yes, 100%.
In a smaller room. Like, you see these people go out and do, you know, these arena tours where there's 50,000 people in the audience. And how can you really find something funny sitting in a group of 50,000 people, hearing it like 3 times with the echo, like, kind of come at you? Like, and then the laughter just kind of evaporates up into the air. And that's what the emotion does with, like, you need, like, a band like U2, you know, is a stadium band because it's all their song. It's very clean and it's very epic and it's very, like, polished and, like, you know, it has the grandiosity of.
But I do think though that there are some bands that can be both. Like, like I saw Weezer and the Pixies do a co-headline tour.
Yes.
That's
and
awesome.
my buddy he's really into Weezer, and I'm like, I love Weezer, and he's like, but I haven't really heard any of the Pixies. I'm like, you just don't know that you have.
Yeah.
And we saw them, and the Pixies opened it up, and they both did pretty much the exact same amount of time, but the Pixies opened it up, and he looked at me after they were done. He's like, we could leave now, and I would be happy.
Aww,
He was like, I bought these tickets for Weezer, but we could leave right now, and I would be totally fine.
Oh, that's
He's like, because that was one of the best shows I've ever seen.
That's awesome.
Because it's these people who don't look like stadium rockers. They're just normal looking people just crushing. I mean, just absolutely melting your brain.
And what
with
venue
how good
was
they're.
this?
This was in Oakland. This was the whatever the old Oakland one, not the new
The Fox
Warriors.
Theater?
No, where the Warriors play.
The arena.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, this is at Oracle.
I saw Rammstein there.
God. But I feel like they would be great. Exactly, they'd be great somewhere super small.
Mm-hmm.
But they're also so good in just this huge stadium because you're like, this rips. Like this is just perfect. And the same with Weezer. I know it's really cool and edgy for people to shit on the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Weezer.
Why is that?
I genuinely enjoy both. It's just like, oh, they're not talented. It's like, yes, they are. That's why they've been around for so long.
Yeah.
Stupid. Like,
I'm more of a Weezer fan than a Red Hot Chili Peppers fan.
and look, I love both of them, but I also love how ridiculous the Red Hot Chili Peppers are, where it just sounds like he's reading a grocery list for every song. He's like, chicken wing toaster. Like,
don't forget the bleach and the laundry detergent.
Yeah, like if you just read the lyrics to the Pokey Rap, that old Pokemon song, if you read them in the Anthony Kiedis voice,
put some slap bass under it. Kadabra, plesiosaur.
Can we make this
Did you
happen?
say plesiosaur?
Yeah. I couldn't think of another Pokemon. My first one was Kadabra, and then I went with a dinosaur.
Not even Pikachu?
Hey man, I say what comes to mind. Stream of consciousness, and this stream is narrow today. Hey guys, just want to take this opportunity to thank you for listening to the show, and make sure you follow us on Instagram or Twitter at SpinDocPod. And if you have any comments or questions or suggestions or anything you want to say to us or anything, go ahead and email us at spindoctorspod@gmail.com. Thanks a lot. Let's get back to the show.
Hey, Rick, have you ever killed someone in prison? Because I notice you have tattooed tears.
No, these are just to remind me to keep crying.
Oh. Have you guys ever, speaking of reminding, you guys ever do a Nickelback episode?
No.
You just want to throw this in the garbage and start over and do a Nickelback episode?
I think it's time.
Yeah, let's just delete all this crap.
This next song is This Is How You Remind Me.
Never made it as a wise man. By the way, I'm now Anthony Kiedis.
Any song with Anthony Kiedis singing it is immediately made funny. Like, I don't care. Like,
Especially if the
in the
lyrics
arms
are
of
his
the
name.
angel, doopity-pop-a-da.
The wheels on the bus they go around and around.
The tires are the things on your car that make contact with the road. Hey, it actually makes more sense as a Chili Peppers song.
Yes.
But yeah, Ruben, as you were saying and describing earlier, these These are my tattooed tears. Ooh, it's got like a Spanish
Ooh, a little
vibe.
Spanishy, yes. Ooh.
It's almost like Old Westy.
You should know that you don't kick if you don't have to. All's fair in love and
It's a long intro, but I like. I always like when a band has like almost the balls to just like put just like the guitarist and singing just over the guitar. Like I feel like it's kind of risky because it's not just like the full band like fucking sing, you know.
Especially with his voice.
They do a lot of like back and forth kind of.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's like bouncy.
Yes. It's very hard to listen to them and not move.
Oh,
Exactly. Yeah. Every time we put a song on, everyone's just like
bobbing.
Yeah, you can't just, but we're all jamming.
Yeah. We've only got 3 songs left on this album. This track is track 10 on the album, and it's called Lone Star. Before we get into it, any specific memories about this one, Ruben?
Not really. Kind of like with you. Like my main things come from the front half of this album. The back half is such like, it's such like a. It kind of chills out a little bit, but it's still just like so like it flows, and that's why I like just listening to like. This is one of the first vinyls that I really would listen to. I'd flip it back and forth, just keep listening. I used to live in Santa Cruz, and like my roommates were like, "That's all you do is you go to work and you come home and put this on like 6 times."
You keeping us up at night, flipping that vinyl over and over again. I'm trying to go to sleep. I hear vinyl flipping.
I kick the door into their rooms and I go, "Hey man, how'd you like that cool track? We're gonna hit up another one. It's called Lone Star by the Front Bottoms." And they're like, "Ruben, it's 2018 and you're doing a Wolfman Jack impression that nobody understands."
Hey, all you cool cats and kittens.
I've never seen that.
God.
I know
But
what you're
you
referencing.
knew what it was a reference to.
I know what you're referencing, but I never have seen it.
Now is that on purpose? We're talking, of course, about Tiger King.
Yeah.
It's trash. It's absolute
It's
trash
horrible.
television.
Yeah. I mean, I heard about the whole Joe Exotic story like God, I hate this hip shit. I heard about it like way before it was happening because I'd listen to True Crime podcast and they would talk about it. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, that sounds interesting." And then it like blew up and everyone's like, "Have you heard of this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like I've heard about it when it was happening."
Yeah.
Like
I was there.
Yeah,
I'm
I
the
had
tiger.
yeah.
I'm Carol Baskin's husband.
Wait a minute.
Where do you think I got this tiger skinned poncho?
Hold on, guys. My mom's about to walk in frame and Carol Baskin just walks in.
My mom's about to walk in frame. Travis Maldonado just walks in.
See, I don't even get that reference.
He's one of the guys, I think.
Is he dead?
I'm not sure. I can't remember if it's the dead one or not. As I was saying it, I was like, can't
he
recall.
Is dead. Yes, he is dead.
I did watch this documentary approximately 17 years ago.
Yeah, at the start of 2020, which
At the
was
start of
17 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I've never felt more like a lone star. Not a good segue, but here we go. Oh, I immediately like this. This is just like... What? I don't even know that it specifically reminds me of anything in particular, but it just has like this nostalgic like quality to it.
Oh, this sounds like the end of like a high school movie where
Yep.
like everyone's like figured out their things, are going to college, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
We're all throwing our hands up in the air. But the funny part is because there's a slight delay in all of our internets, we're all doing it at slightly different speeds and slightly different, like, we're all kind of offbeat of each other.
That's because we're 3 white guys.
There's nothing with the internet connection, just pure Caucasian.
says, "Hey Brian, if you still believe in the Lord above, get on your hands and knees and pray."
God, I love that line.
That's so good. That's such a good line.
Such a good line. Because he's kind of talking about, like, again, things are not going well. And he's like, going to my pregnant girlfriend, my bank account is dry, blah, blah, blah. And then I love that when just, again, so real, too. Hey, Brian, if you still believe in the Lord above, get on your hands and knees and pray for us.
Yeah.
Like, woof. Again, even if you have no religious anything, you know, like,
Right, exactly.
that's like, hey, because it itself is a submissive pose.
Mhm.
like to kind of bear everything. Like, and it's like, we need this. Like, if that's our last shot, we don't have anything anymore. But
If you still believe in God.
I also like that it's called Lone Star, and it kind of does have a Texas feel to it.
Yeah, it definitely does. Like, just that, like, especially the intro of it.
Yeah.
That just, like, has, it doesn't sound country or southern, but it just has that, like, or it does maybe sound a little bit southern. It has a southern vibe to it, but it's not, like, I don't know. It's not country at all.
Yes. I also feel like the other music is very, like, geared to play live.
Do they got good banter in between songs, Ruben, or are they kind of just straight up like, we're here, we're playing songs, or is there the front guy like funny or anything?
Their banter was definitely like, it definitely was like, again, garage band level banter was just like, like you kind of forget that you're seeing them in this paid venue. They're just like, huh, cool. What did you say? Okay, yeah, I guess we could do that, yeah. And then they just somebody like said something off stage, and they're like, all right. And they're like, this one's for so-and-so. Like, they literally, at one point, they pointed off stage because somebody was like, play this. And they're like,
Okay.
all right, this one's for so-and-so. And they just started playing it, and we're like, that rules.
That is awesome.
I love good banter, and I love good interaction.
Mm-hmm.
The best musician I've ever seen put a show on is Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, yeah.
Because I used to work at an arena, and so I saw everything. I saw Van Halen with Eddie Van Halen and David Lee Roth. I've seen the original lineup of Fleetwood Mac. I've seen everybody.
Damn. The original, before they got that Mexican guy who skateboards?
Are you talking about? Yeah, it is wild that it was kind of like a Journey thing where he sounds so much like her.
He just
Like, you're our new guy.
He just has a bottle of cranberry juice on stage.
At first, I legitimately thought you meant Journey, and I'm like, do you mean Filipino?
I chose my words very carefully.
That's what inspired Fleetwood Mac to find the skateboarder.
Yeah,
it's like, well, it worked for Journey.
Yeah.
Let's try our own thing.
But I've seen all sorts of things. And Bruce Springsteen, he came in and he had a general admission show at this big arena, which did not happen. And he was like, nope, it has to be general admission. The average age of the audience was 50.
Yes.
It was a lot of very older people. They were older, but they were cool older. You know what I mean?
I mean, they're there for Bruce,
they're all in this
so
yeah, and they're in this general admission area, and he plays about 5 songs, okay? And it's clearly just build-up stuff. He does not play the hits yet. And he goes, all right, that's what we got planned. What do you guys want to hear? And so you did half an hour of planned, an hour and a half of unplanned.
Wow.
Of just he would pull signs up, he would pull people up on stage, had like body paint that were like, play Dancing in the Dark. And he'd be like, all right, we're playing it, and you're going to dance on stage with me.
Wow.
Like, it was just so about his audience.
That's incredible.
And I was like, this is not this is not my style of music. But this is the kind of performer I love to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Because he is a performer. He's performing. He's having fun. He's enjoying what he's doing. Like
you see a lot of bands, especially when they've been performing that long, kind of like they seem sick of it.
They phone it in.
This next song is called, it's what I just did to get into this segue, and it's called Backflip. Oh, okay.
Whoa.
Yep, that's Front Bottoms.
I don't see me mad at situations. I see me turn and walk.
Oh, that was cool how the side keep that little bass will slide down.
That I will probably regret one day. Yeah, I will probably regret one day. But now I am happy to be bonding in a kitchen with my friends.
I'm happy to be bonding in a kitchen with... That sounds like Talking Heads lyrics. How it's almost like a robot pretending to be human. I am enjoying spending quality time with other compatriots in my apartment kitchen. I love that. I really like that style though. David Byrne does it, Talking Heads all the time. Is like, man, I can't remember the exact lyric, but he says like, I enjoy going places with my feet or something like that. Like just normal human activity.
But also it's so relatable in such a dumb way. But you're like, I enjoy bonding with my friends. You're like, yeah, okay. I enjoy bonding in the kitchen with my friends. You're like, you know what that means.
Oh yeah.
Like we all have done that. We're just like hanging out, no matter the age, because you can see it as a kid, you can see it as an adult. Where you're like, if you're an adult, you're just standing around drinking. Like at my house, that is pretty much where, like, if we have people over or like whatever, we're in the kitchen.
Yeah,
that's just like
kitchen.
our kind of like we have a little bar that's kind of like our hangout area.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's where there's a place to play games or whatever. There we hang out there. If it's it's just somehow kind of become a communal place.
I would like to give you. So we've now reached the final track on the album. I feel like I've heard a lot of stuff now that I hadn't heard before. But
This
none
is
of it was
awesome.
bad. Yeah, exactly.
I like that at the start of almost every track, both of you go, "Oh,
Yeah.
yeah."
I mean, it's not like it's surprising that each track is good, but like, and they're all.
They just
I mean,
get
it's-
into
it's-
it.
Yeah, but they're all like kind of similar too.
Yeah, 100%.
Like they all have a very similar, I guess, vibe. Not even vibe, but I guess it's just a band has a sound, and
yes.
they have a very specific sound.
If you were parodying them and like parodying their style, you know exactly what you would have to do. You'd have to do drum fills. You'd have to sing like this and say uncomfortable. Like everything is over.
And play an acoustic
enunciated.
guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you could totally.
especially
That's a good way to think about how a band's sound is. Is like, how would you parody them?
How would you make fun of them? Yeah.
Yeah, if you were going to do like, oh, that's super smart. I've never even thought about that.
It comes from a childhood of loving Weird Al Yankovic.
Oh my god, I love Weird Al. I saw Weird Al live
How many times?
only once.
Dude.
I know it was so good,
3?
and it was
I think
like
3 or 4.
who is the band that you've seen the most?
Probably Weird Al.
Oh, really? 3 or 4 times?
Yeah.
really
Like
That's cool.
I don't go to a lot of repeat shows that often. Like if I see somebody, I've seen them. Unless they like there's something where I'm like I need to see them again. But like also this sounds really bad. A lot of musicians I've seen are dead now
Yeah.
because I worked at an arena, so I saw a lot of the big guys. I got to see Linkin Park for free,
Oh wow.
which like was cool.
Yeah.
To see Linkin Park, and in that time not knowing that I wouldn't ever get a chance to do this again. I've seen Muse, which they're not dead, but I'm not gonna, a lot of stuff I've seen. I'm not gonna spend that money to go watch it again.
Right. Yeah.
Especially
yeah.
at an arena.
That was what I liked about the.
Yeah.
That's what I liked about the Bridge School benefit was I went there because Tom Waits was playing, and that's what. Yeah. And Les Claypool was playing bass for him. So I was like, I have to fucking see this. I have to see this.
Yeah.
And then it was great because I also got to see Queens of the Stone Age.
Cool.
And doing acoustic, which was fucking badass.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And then I got to see a bunch of shit that I would have never seen. I saw Elvis Costello.
Oof.
I saw who else was there? My Morning Jacket was amazing.
Nice.
Well, especially
and at the-
acoustic. That's their.
Yeah,
like,
and at the end of the night, it was the day after Lou Reed had died, and at the end of the night, everybody got on stage and played "Oh Sweet Nothing." Like everybody.
Man.
I've seen Weird Al like 3 or 4 times. I could have seen him once as a kid, once with my mom, once with my ex-girlfriend, and I saw him in New York. And I saw him at the Apollo in New York, and I saw
Wow.
it was his No Strings Attached. No, it was his Vanity tour.
Yeah.
Where he did no costumes, no anything, no parodies, nothing. It was all just the B-sides.
The totally self-indulgent, whatever.
Yeah, and he would like advertise it as, if you've never seen me, don't come to this show.
Yeah.
You are going to be very disappointed. This is not the show for you. Like he goes,
Man,
I will
that's
be
cool.
back. And he was even saying like in the advertisements, he's like, next year it's going to be something insane. That's the show to go see. And then the next year was his Strings Attached tour where he went with a string orchestra.
Oh
But
wow.
He was like, if you've never seen me, don't come to this one. Like you're
Yeah.
gonna be disappointed. And I went and saw
It
it.
was all deep cuts.
It was super deep cuts and it ripped. It was awesome. I absolutely loved it. And then of course he did a medley in the middle that was all parodies, but it was like acoustic, different like styles.
Mhm.
Like Beat It was super slow and it was you never such a scruffy just eat it. eat it. Like, it was so slow.
That's so funny.
But it was like, oh, that's Eat It. Like, totally. And then he, at the end of every show, he did a legitimate cover.
Mm-hmm.
And it is so weird to hear Weird Al Yankovic do a legitimate, not funny, not parody cover.
Yeah, just like totally
and
earnest.
all of every single show is available on like Earwolf or Stitcher Premium, I think.
Oh, cool.
So you can find every single show he did, because every single set list is different.
Right.
But it wasn't like, this is the only show I'm going to play this, but they had 60 something songs in the bank for it, and then each show was 20 songs long.
Okay, yeah. So they would just pick from the list.
They would pick from the list, and like at one point and then I paid for the huge VIP thing because I'm an idiot. And you got a copy of the set list.
Oh, that's cool.
And they were clearly typing it up as he was playing.
Oh, that's funny.
Because he goes, okay, next I think it was like January. He goes, it's January, so let's do a Christmas song. And he kind of looks at his band and he goes, this one or that one? Like, and he like clearly is kind of motioning, and they're like, that one. He goes, all right, this one's The Night Santa Went Crazy. And I'm like, oh, so it clearly was, are you going to do Christmas at Ground Zero, or are you going to do Night Santa Went Crazy? Like, it was, yeah. And I was like, we're in New York, something crazy's going to happen. And I like met this guy next to me who he also came to the show alone. And we're just talking, just hanging out. And I was like, I just have a feeling something nuts is going to happen. Like, something weird's going to happen. And he starts talking about this song. And he also does not talk a whole lot in normal shows. He really doesn't. He does his puts his funny costume on. He does the song, then he jumps off stage to go change, and they play like a video or something. He was talking so much in the show, and it was really cool because he normally doesn't interact that much, and which is totally fair because he's got to do all these different changes. And he goes, this next song, it's called "Why Does This Always Happen to Me?" and it's a style parody of Ben Folds. And I ended up becoming really good friends with Ben after doing this song, and he actually played piano for us on this song. Like, and so, because we wanted to do it, and so he goes, and so because of that, because we're in New York, we have something very special treat for you guys. On piano for this song tonight is my keyboardist, Ruben Valtiera. And the guy just like waves his hand, and then they just start playing.
That's awesome.
So Weird Al.
And everyone loved it. It was just like, yeah, fine. Because I was like, here it is. I was like, Ben Folds is about to come out. And he's like, nope, idiot. And I was like, fair enough, I guess. Got my ass, Weird Al.
Well, I think it's time to wrap up this album. What do you guys think? Last song?
Let's hit it.
Let's do it. I think this is a good song title for the end of the album because it's called "Everything I Own," and so it feels like just from the title, it's like, well, I just gave you everything I own on this album. Like, this is everything I own. So this is everything I own. This sounds like an album closer.
It does.
Very enjoyable music. There are a lot of albums that I feel like are difficult to listen to all the way through. Like, I feel like a lot of albums, like, you've got your favorite songs on them, and then that's what you listen to. And there's like a song will come on that you're gonna skip immediately. I feel like this is an album that, while every song might not be your favorite song, I think that it has the sound that you want. And so I feel like this is very much an album that, like you said, you hate the term driving music, but you could just put this, like, this is a CD album.
Yes.
This is a fucking CD album. This is like, from the ages before you just streamed a song from whatever artist you wanted to hear. This was a CD you would buy and throw in your car, and then it was just the CD. It was your car CD. And you would just play it through over and over again.
And like no throwaway songs on here either. Like there's every now and then you'll go through an album like, okay, you had to fill it. You had 11 songs and you need 12 or whatever. But like not one that feel like, let's just get this on there and get it out of here and stuff.
Yeah,
because every song feels earnest. It feels like it's not that I feel like he doesn't sit down and go, I'm going to write some songs and write songs. I feel like some shit happens to him where he has like a thought or like an epiphany or something, and he goes, oh fuck, where's my pen?
Yeah.
Let's listen to a little bit more of Everything I Own, shall we? It's the last song. Why not, huh?
Sometimes I don't feel like singing. I don't really like these songs. Sometimes
That right there, that feels so fucking real. Sometimes I don't really like these songs. Like, that feels so real. That feels like,
especially as a performer too.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I have jokes that I hate.
this is the last tangent, I swear, but last night at the show, I asked a guy on stage, I go, hey, you like hentai? And he just goes, no. And it's very quickly. And his girlfriend goes, what's hentai? And I was like, well, now you got to explain this one, buddy.
This is on you, pal. That was too quick of an answer. You can't just, no, I don't. It's either yes or what is it?
Yeah.
No, I mean, wait, what is that?
I was like, you answered a little too fast there, bud.
I mean,
Yeah,
things
that
you
one
doth
in the
protest
chamber.
too much.
Yeah.
Well, I think that about does it for the show. I think that we made it through all the tracks, and I think that we had a good time doing it.
This
Was fun. Thank you for having me.
Of
This
course,
is actually-
Ruben, dude.
You're awesome.
I mean, yeah, you were one of the first people that I thought of when I wanted to do
I
this
appreciate
show.
that.
And I mean, of course, in order to show our appreciation for you being on the show, we would like to offer you this opportunity to plug yourself. And
I've
then
been plugging myself this whole time.
and then tell us your upcoming dates. I know there's no like touring or anything, but what do you got going on?
Yeah, this is a fun segue. So, plugs. I do a podcast with my mom. It is a very wholesome podcast, actually. It's called Kid Tested, Mother Approved. And each week we pick a theme, or a theme is given to us. And then we pick a movie for each other to watch based on that theme. It's very fun. It's very wholesome. My mom talks about Hallmark Christmas movies all the time. And then I make stupid... Okay, like one of the Hallmark movies has a professional piano player in it, which is a pianist.
A pianist, yes. A pro pianist.
And my mom says pianist, and then I go... and my mom tells me to knock it off.
And what's it called?
It's called Kid Tested, Mother Approved.
Kid Tested, Mother Approved. That
Yeah,
sounds
it's a
awesome.
very- We're 150-something episodes in. We have a blast with it. It's just fun, and it's like I said, it's disturbingly wholesome. Like it's.
I think we could all use some wholesomeness now.
Yeah, well, I think we were like 10, 15 episodes in when it got real because somebody emailed the show. Like we have an email set up and people send us emails and whatever. And somebody emailed the show, and I usually just read the emails live on air because I'm like, whatever. And this person talks about how they listen to the show because they don't have a good relationship with their mom, and they want to have a good this show makes them want to have a real relationship with their mom. And I'm like, wow, that means a lot. And I look across the desk at my mom, and she's in tears.
Wow.
And I'm like, it's okay, like it's all right, like it's okay, like that's good. And she's like, I know, I just wasn't expecting like something so genuine.
Yeah, you're doing a good thing.
Yeah, and
That's
so
awesome.
We have listeners from all over the world, and we have a Discord set up, and so we talk with them all the time, and like so it's fun. Other than that, not a whole lot going on. Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you. I mean, I don't think you need to have a whole lot of the. I don't think you need to have. What am I trying to say? I don't think you need to have a whole lot else going on when you've got 150 episodes of a podcast that's making somebody feel like they have a relationship with their mother. Like, that's doing actual good in the world. Whereas we're just sitting here talking about an album that we like. Dude, this song's good. Oh, what do you have to say about this one? It's good.
I do love that, like on that show, like we don't swear, it's very wholesome or whatever. And then I go on these other shows and I'm like, penis, dick, fart.
Those are your swear words. Penis, dick, and fart.
Well,
it's funny too because like
It's my favorite Carlin bit, the 3 words you can't say on podcasts.
penis, dick, and fart.
Well, you're beautiful to me, Ruben. Thank you for sharing.
Oh, thank you,
Nick,
Rick.
you had never heard this album before. You never heard any front bottoms. What are your takeaways?
Oh man, this is great. I want to keep listening. I'm gonna dive in a little bit more and keep getting into this. This is great.
And once again, I want to say thank you to our guest, Ruben Escobedo. Listen to Kid Tested, Mother Approved. And a big thank you to, of course, Pale Blue Dot, who does our theme song for you. It's available on their album Kingdom, Phylum, Class, Order, Family, Genus, Species. Very good album, very good song, very good band. Go check them out as well. Thank you. I've been Rick Storer.
I've been Nick.
And we've been the Spin Doctors. Bye!